Michael Pittman number one, no doubt. Two, you put Alec Pierce up there. I think he's
I
probably going to
would
be
I
number two.
would put Paris Campbell too, just because his speed with Matt
Uh,
Ryan. I would
well,
put Paris Campbell, and I would like to see Paris Campbell too over
yeah.
Alec Pierce.
What's your thoughts on Alec Pierce this year? Do you think he's going to ball out? Or do you think he's going to need a couple seasons?
I think the Colts need Alec Pierce to be extremely solid, just because underneath Michael Pittman, who we all know is the number one receiver on the team, he's taken strides from year one to year two, and now he's going into year three. I think Alec Pierce needs to be amazing for us just because Matt Ryan needs other people to throw the ball
I
to
know, I know, I
other
know.
than Pittman. Like we
Well, I
have we
think,
have Paris Campbell who can't stay healthy. I think this is the year that Paris Campbell breaks through though. I know I just jinxed it, so if you're listening to this, I'm sorry. Knock on wood anywhere. We have Naheem
for
Hines,
Paris Campbell,
who underneath Pittman, if you had to ask me who's gonna be second on the team in receptions, I would probably put Naheem Hines atop that
yeah,
list just because they're
that's
looking to get him more involved in the passing this year.
yeah. If you look at the training camp, like he's getting a lot of targets in training camp. They're moving him around a lot. He's going in motion a lot because he's so fast. So people can't keep up with him. And if you put a linebacker on him, you're done for. So, but last year what they did a lot was put it like a almost like a wheel route on a Naheem Hines, and he's gonna be going against a wide receiver or linebacker almost every time.
Yeah.
And if you have him against a linebacker going downfield, all you gotta do is throw it up. Naheem's getting it. If you're Carson Wentz, it's not gonna work out, but I
And
bet
you
Matt
know
Ryan
Matt
can make it
Ryan,
work.
those easy dink and dunks, that's what he's known for. It's quick rhythm.
Mhm.
Another cool stat that I heard, I don't know the exact number, but I heard it the other day on the radio, is that in training camp only, Michael Pittman has like three times the amount of receptions over the guy in second place. Like Matt Ryan
Repeat that
and
set.
so Michael Pittman is like number one in receptions at training camp through those 3 weeks. Number two is like three times the difference between Pittman and number two. Like Matt Ryan loves Michael Pittman, which is fine, but you have to remember that when it gets to the end, like to the regular season, everyone on that defense is gonna know who the ball is probably gonna go to. So that's why we need Alec Pierce, Paris Campbell,
Yeah.
Naheem Hines, Mo Alley Cox, Jelani
This
Woods.
Now this is kind of getting down a rabbit hole, but like, do you think Mike Strawn is actually going to get what we want to see out of him this year? Like, do you think they'll just say, you know what, this preseason was good, let's put him up there, and maybe him and Alec Pierce
Well, the
just
thing
start.
about him is just last week he finally was able to get on the field. He was on the physically unable to perform list at the beginning of training camp. Took him a few weeks. He finally got onto the field last week. Immediately, like no restrictions, had a good couple days of camp, and then against we all saw it against Detroit. He had a touchdown. He had a couple receptions all on that one drive. We'll see how he does this week against Tampa Bay. Like I said, the Colts need any weapon they can get out and wide out, but I don't know. I wouldn't put a lot of stock into him right now. Hopefully, he can get some
Yeah,
reps in game. But remember last year, it was really all mental for him.
I mean,
That's what
even
everybody
like
said.
the first drive of the game, week one, he caught that third down. It
Yep,
was like
against
it's
Seattle, we
Mike
were all
Strawn,
hyped as
and then
shit.
like that was the only catch I ever saw him catch in my life.
I
Like,
know.
but the
It's
thing is what you have to think about is we got Michael Pittman number one. We're gonna act like there's no injuries. Michael Pittman number one, no doubt. Two, you put Alec Pierce up there. I think he's
I
probably gonna
would
be
I
number two.
would put Paris Campbell too, just because his speed with Matt
Uh-huh.
Ryan. I would
Well,
put Paris Campbell, and I would like to see Paris Campbell too over
yeah.
Alec Pierce.
So at three, I guess we can flip flop. Maybe Alec Pierce Campbell right there at 3-2.
Yeah.
Now the thing is if Mike Strong wants to come in and be actual wide receiver at least three, honestly, he's preying on someone's downfall at this point.
Yeah,
So
but at this point, I'd put Patman over Strong just because Patman is more proven.
yeah, and then but you have Ashton Doolin too, which
I knew I was
yeah,
forgetting someone, and
yeah, dude, I'm like,
I was just about to Google it.
and he's a baller, dude. Like, and the
I
thing
would
is
put
he's
Doolin at
playing. Dolan's
ah,
playing with the playing with the starters more than any of the other guys like
yeah.
Strawn and Patman, and I mean Dolan was proven last year.
So
He's
right
actually
now,
proven.
Pittman, Campbell,
Pierce,
Doolin,
Dolan.
Pierce.
Now the only reason I put Pierce above those two guys is because in the preseason we did. I know it's just a preseason, but when we put those starters out there at the beginning, like week one, we're gonna see obviously week one in regular season. He was out there. I mean, he's playing on the bottom of the
Yeah.
screen the whole time.
And you
So
know what I love about Alec Pierce is the way he like handles press, like his release off
Yeah.
the line is insane.
Yeah.
And it was a clip from, I believe it was the Detroit game. It might have been the first preseason game against Buffalo, but one of the things that I forget who on the coaching staff talks about it. It might have been Reggie Wayne, but they said even on run plays, they're stressing to the receivers to work on their how to beat the press. And there was a clip of it. It was just a normal run play, but on the top of the screen or the bottom, it was Alec Pierce one on one, burned the dude off the
Yeah,
line.
it
Like
was I know who it was. It was like a known corner too. It was like oh, it was the
what
Detroit corner.
was it
It was like
Okuda?
Oken. Yeah, yeah, that was who it was. I knew it was
Yeah,
some weird
which has
name.
kind of been a bust for Detroit. That's another topic. But Alec Pierce, like, I don't know, and that's where he has shined the most in training camp has been on the one-on-one drills.
Yeah.
He's just that guy. And remember Michael Pittman's rookie year. It was always Michael Pittman is the 50-50 guy. Throw it up, he's gonna get it. I think that's kind
Uh-huh.
of how Alec Pierce is gonna be. So I don't know. We'll see. But
And
again, go ahead.
the last thing that I think that a good topic about Alec Pierce is do you think okay, so knowing Pittman's season last year, over 1,000 yards, I believe it was like 6 touchdowns or something like that. Maybe it might have been more than that.
Hmm.
But do you think with Alec Pierce in the field, including JT had a lot of touchdowns last year and a lot of yards rushing? Do you think Alec Pierce being on the field takes away from Pittman's stats this year?
Not at all, because
Not
Pittman's
at
gonna
all.
get his. Nah.
Yeah.
So 2021, he had 88 catches, 1,082 yards, 6 touchdowns. In his rookie year, it was 40 catches, 500 yards, and 1 touchdown. And he said going into year two last year, he wanted to double all the statistics. He said this year he also wants to try and double it. I don't think he'll get 160 receptions. I don't think he'll get 2,000 yards, but
My thing
hopefully we can see
is
his touchdown numbers go up a little
he
bit.
can his touchdown numbers might go up, his yards, I think he should go up in everything. I think that actually the whole passing team is gonna go way up for the Colts.
Yeah.
I don't think JT is gonna have again another rabbit hole, but I think that JT's not gonna have the same year he had last year. Not saying he's not as good, but just the potential
Like,
because
it's okay if instead of
yeah,
1,800 yards and 18 touchdowns, JT gives us, what,
he also had
16 or
like a
1,500 yards?
he also had like a 5 touchdown game or something like that.
Yeah.
So
Like,
take a
don't like, listen, Colts fans, don't panic if JT gives us 1,500 and maybe instead of 18 rushing
10.
touchdowns, I'd say probably
Even if he's at like
13 to 15.
even if he's at 1,200 yards or 1,300 yards and he's at like 8 to 10 touchdowns, like honestly, that is still good knowing that we have Matt Ryan and I mean, I know when people look into the Colts, they're like their receiving core sucks, but really we have a lot of potential there.
We
Like
have a lot
Ashton
of
Dillon,
unproven talent at our receiving
yeah.
core. Not that we suck, but they just haven't done anything.
Like I said, I put on the hot takes on the our Instagram that Pittman, I don't know if he was top 3 or top 5, but easily could be a top 5 receiver if he gets the
I 100%
volume.
agree.
Yeah, if he gets 100 receptions or doubles whatever he did last year, I mean
I would
160
like
that's
to
just
see
nuts.
from 88 last year. I would like to see him at least get in the triple digits receptions, and he probably will with Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
But
All
I
right.
do want to talk about Jonathan Taylor in another podcast because that's a very interesting discussion. Like, how do you think he'll do this coming up year versus
Mhm.
his MVP, best running back in the league in franchise history year last year? But we will get to that probably next episode, so stay tuned for that.